This just in, the dastardly dictator Baron Blade of Morningrad has invented a lunar impulsion beam to pull the moon into the Earth's surface, destroying humanity. Can the heroic Freedom 5 stop their dastardly nemesis before he destroys the world with all of us in it? Stay tuned to find out. Baron Blade is stationed on his mobile defense platform, making him immune to the damage from the heroes. His nemesis Legacy is on the field. Baron Blade activates his Devious Disruption, dealing each hero target 3 damage. The mobile defense platform attempts to deploy some troops, and fails. The heroes react. Legacy inspires his allies with his inspiring presence. Inspired. Legacy takes on the role of protector for the team, reducing their damage taken by 1. Legacy prepares for the next turn. Absolute Zero prepares a coolant blast and blasts the mobile defense platform for 1 damage. Absolute Zero prepares for his next turn.
The speedster Tachyon plays Fleet of Foot. Each hero may draw a card. Tachyon may play a card and repeats herself, goes back in time. Draw another card. Then Tachyon nimbly strikes the mobile defense unit for 3 melee damage. Utilizing her fast friend power, Tachyon allows 1 hero to draw a card. If she assisted an ally, she may act again and pushes the limits. Tachyon prepares for the next turn. The Wraith uses her micro-targeting computer to lock on to her targets. Then, the Wraith steps through the shadows, revealing the Baron's next move.
To hasten the doom of the players.
Helping her prepare for the future.
The tank-like bunker prepares himself into upgrade mode, equipping his mounted AP gun. He prepares for the next turn, also equipping his Omni Cannon and grenade launcher. This tank is all souped up. In the Ruins of Atlantis, the tunnel system they're currently in is collapsing, letting in rushing water. Each target takes 2 fixed damage. Baron Blade's shield protects him. As the heroes predicted, Baron Blade attempts to hasten their doom. Each hero target takes 2 toxic damage, reduced by the protecting legacy. Baron Blade then gets to act again, preparing a secondary force field. The mobile defense platform attempts to deploy some minions, and it succeeds, setting out the Jet Jump Battalions. The Jump Jet Battalions reveal a device, the Backlash Field Generator, enhancing Baron Blade. The Jump Jet Battalion blasts Legacy, Bunker, and the Wraith for 2 damage. Legacy's current protection wears off. Legacy bolsters his allies, inspiring Absolute Zero into a desperate deployment. Summoning his Isothermic Transducer, dealing himself 2 cold and 2 fire damage. The Isothermic Transducer reacts, dealing 3 damage to the shield generator. Legacy protects his allies and prepares for the next turn. Absolute Zero unleashes a Frostbound Drain, destroying the shield generator, dealing himself 3 fire damage, and blasting the mobile defense platform for 4 cold damage. Then prepares for his next turn.
Tachyon's pushed too far and hurts herself in the process. Tachyon nimbly strikes the mobile defense platform, taking it out. Tachyon keeps on pushing the limits. Using her fast friend power, she doubles down on getting ready for the next attack. The Wraith uses her leverage in order to get the upper hand in this fight. And again, the Wraith shadow steps to find out what's going on next in Baron Blade's court.
A Blade Battalion is ready to enter the scene.
But Wraith's utility belt has everything she needs for every possibility. Pulling out of the utility belt, the Razor Ordnance, and prepares for the next turn.
Bunker loads ordnance in each of his weapons and leaves upgrade mode. Bunker's piston punch crushes the jet jump battalion and loads his AP gun with another round. Bunker then fires that AP gun at Baron Blade himself with 6 irreducible projectile damage. Baron Blade reacts, shoving a Blade battalion in front of the gun, destroying them. Bunker prepares for his next turn. Then, in the Ruins of Atlantis, from the collapsed tunnel behind them, a Kraken limb bursts out and grapples on to Absolute Zero, dealing him 5 damage.
4, because of Legacy's protection.
The Baron deviously disrupts the heroes, affecting them for all of their current abilities in play. Legacy takes 4 damage. Absolute Zero removes his coolant blast, receiving 3 damage.
Tachyon slows down and takes 3 damage. Slowing down, though, Tachyon hits back, dealing 4 sonic damage to the Kraken limb and 3 to Baron Blade.
Baron Blade has no minions to push in front of that attack, and takes 3 damage.
The Wraith takes 5 damage.
Bunker disables his mounted AP gun and receives 4 damage. Baron Blade restores himself back up to full health with that living force field. And the heroes react. Legacy bolsters his allies, allowing Wraith to enter the fray.
Wraith destroys the living force field. And regains 2 health.
Legacy continues to protect his allies. Absolute Zero equips his high-yield coolant tanks and prepares for the next turn.
Tachyon uses expedited efficiency to prepare, equipping her HUD goggles and using her quick insight. With her HUD goggles equipped, she nimbly strikes again, dealing 3 melee damage to Baron Blade. Tachyon helps Absolute Zero get equipped and nimbly strikes again.
Baron Blade attempts to push a minion in front of the blow, but does not have any within arm's reach, receiving the full brunt once again.
The Wraith, seeing that Absolute Zero is in trouble, throws out the Sonic Neutralizer and uses it to ensure that the flailing Kraken limb can't do any damage this turn. And then tries to strike at Baron Blade for 3, 4, 5, 6 damage.
Baron Blade is unsuccessful in blocking the attack and is reduced to 28 hit points.
Feeling pretty good about herself, Wraith prepares for her next attack.
Bunker loads each of his weapons with some ordnance. Bunker applies adhesive foam grenades to the surrounding area, ensuring that the environment will not stop them from taking out their foe. Bunker smashes Baron Blade for 3 damage with his dispatch punch. The attack is blocked by some jump jet battalions. Bunker prepares for the next turn. Ruins of Atlantis are inactive due to the adhesive foam grenade and the sonic neutralizer. Baron Blade summons a Blade battalion to the field. The jump jet battalion blasts Legacy, Bunker, and the Wraith for 2 damage each, reduced by Legacy's protector. The Blade battalion converges on Bunker, dealing him 5 damage, reduced by the protector. And the heroes react. Legacy gives the Blade battalion the old 1-2 for 2 melee damage. Then strikes the Baron and all of his minions for 3 melee damage each. Baron Blade is unsuccessful in blocking the attack, and both the Jump Jet Battalion and Blade Battalion are dispatched. Legacy protects his allies with Protector and prepares for the next round. Absolute Zero prepares another desperate deployment, equipping his null point calibration unit. Along with his null point calibration unit, he equips his focus apertures. His desperate deployment causes himself to deal himself 1 fire damage. His isothermic transducer reacts, blasting himself for 2 cold damage, which heals him with the null point calibration unit instead of dealing damage. Then he deals himself 2 cold damage from the desperate deployment, healing himself for 2 more thanks to his null point calibration unit. And he is restored to 11 HP. Absolute Zero loses his cool, blasting out uncontrollable cold damage, which blasts Tachyon for 2, healing himself thanks to his null point calibration unit for 2, and blasting the Kraken Tentacle and Baron Blade for 3 cold damage each. Baron Blade is unable to block the attack. Absolute Zero prepares for the next turn.
Tachyon blasts Baron Blade and the Kraken Limb with the Sonic Vortex, dealing both 4 damage. Kraken Limb is destroyed.
And a Jump Jet Battalion jumps in the way and is also destroyed.
Tachyon stops by the lab and grabs her research grant. Quickly preparing for the next attack. The Wraith makes an attempt to abduct and interrogate Baron Blade,
And is momentarily successful.
dealing him 2 toxic damage. The Wraith also whips a stun bolt out of her utility belt and blasts Baron Blade with her Razor Ordnance,
Smashing into a Blade Battalion
but destroying it.
and destroying it in 1 blow. Bunker's adhesive foam grenade dries up, but both of his weapons load up with more ordnance. Unable to do anything from his current angle, he uses tactical command to instruct the Wraith to attack Baron Blade.
The Wraith turns and attempts to blast Baron Blade with another Razor Ordnance.
Which is successful. The Ruins of Atlantis reacts.
The heroes wander into a phosphorescent chamber.
Baron Blade unleashes another Blade Battalion, who strike Legacy for 6 damage. The heroes suspect if they don't stop him now, the moon will collide with the Earth, and there will be nothing they can do about it. Legacy smashes Baron Blade with a flying smash for 4 damage, choosing to ignore the Blade Battalion. Baron Blade is unable to block the effect. Protects his allies with his protector. Absolute Zero unleashes a Frostbound Drain on Baron Blade for 6 cold damage. Baron Blade is unable to block it. That causes Absolute Zero to deal himself 4 fire damage. His isothermic transducer reacts, and he blasts Baron Blade for another 7 damage, and is successful at defeating him. Or so they thought. As the cold frost chills over Baron Blade, his icy remains transform into a powered armored suit, but the blast from the ice attack has destroyed the Moonfall device. Absolute Zero prepares for the next turn.
Tachyon needs a little pit stop, uses her expedited efficiency, pausing to sucker punch Baron Blade for 3 damage,
Which is successful.
swings back around, uses her accelerated assault for 3 more damage on Baron Blade and the Blade Battalion, and goes straight into a light speed barrage, hitting the Baron as many times as she can. 18 hits land. Right?
Successfully on the Baron.
Tachyon takes a breather. The Wraith sees her chance, pops down some smoke bombs, sneaks up behind Baron Blade, and attempts to hit him for 7 damage.
And is successful,
Nice.
destroying his armored suit and crippling Baron Blade. Damaged beyond repair, the Baron Blade's armored suit explodes into a fiery wreck at the end of a confrontation with the fantastic Legacy. No mortal man could have survived such an explosion. Will the Baron Blade be seen again? Many believe not, until nearly a decade later, when a recognizable face appeared on the television screen. What is the story behind this shadowed man on the television screen? Find out next time on Sentinels of the Multiverse.